No Turning Back Project, 7/7/21. Started this journal July 7th, 2021. Today is January 6th, 2024. Think about those dates. This book should be completely full and should have continuations of itself maybe 3 or 4 times over if I was actually doing what I was supposed to do, which is writing in it every day. Writing down my goals, how I'm going to accomplish them. What I want, what I need, my observations. This was supposed to be more or less like a diary. But endure it. I see a bunch of incomplete ideas, good ideas, but nonetheless incomplete. And that's another thing I do that hinders me from pressing forward. I tend to gravitate on things I didn't do versus the things I could be doing, which is very unhealthy. And just knowing that fact is leading me to focus on what I should be doing. December 29, 2003, goals completely empty. We're going to start this page over. It's going to be 1/6/24. And write down wants. Wants and desires. Make me think of that Big Sean song. I got goals, I got dreams, infatuated with nice things. Need money, mighty sin. These are my desire, wants and needs. Shout out to Sean. The one thing I want more than anything else in this entire world is Wavy Davy setup. And not just his setup, but I would love to have access to the sound that Wavy gives us on my own. When I started with Mitten Boy in 2011, because it took me a year to sign. It was probably 2010 or 2011. Started kicking it with the Mitten Boys. Ace brought me around Royal. was knee deep in the lab, making music every day, producing, writing, rapping, songwriting, mixing, mastering. Even all the way back then, I was 11, 12 years ago. Before that, it was me and Les, actually, 10th grade. Was that 10th grade or 11th grade? 11th grade. 11th grade. 2004-ish, 3-ish. 2004-ish, 3-ish. Damn, that was 20 years ago. Wow. 20 years ago. First studio session ever. Northland Mall, which doesn't exist anymore. My homie Gennaro, aka G Camp, had a soundproof booth right in the middle of the mall. And I was supposed to be at track practice. I was going to Castac at the time, trying out for the track team. A couple days before, we had our first practice at track, and I caught a trailer horse. Like, nah, I ain't doing track. So for the next practice, I skipped it, and I'm gonna go even further back. That first track practice, it was the chick I liked. I think her name was like Shantae or something. And we was gearing up for track practice. And we was at the locker. I think I was pulling my shorts out or something. I can't really remember 100%, but she said something to me. Like I had a crush on Shorty. She said something to me like, "Oh, you about to be on the track team with me?" I'm like, "Hell yeah." So, all right, bet. Something like that. Just a quick interaction, but even to this day, I remember it because I had a big crush on her. She had never spoken to me beforehand. Like, it was never a casual conversation me and her had before, her seeing me getting ready to gear up for track practice. And so, I wanted to be on the track team. I knew I was fast. I was fast as fuck, actually, when I was in high school. Middle school, high school, elementary, I was fast. I was basically the fastest kid on the block. My homeboy Chris, we used to call him Mighty Mouse. He was short. My son now call me short. My son asks his mom, "Am I gonna be short when I grow up? Cause both of y'all are short." That was funny. But my homeboy Chris, aka Mighty Mouse, was the only kid around here who could keep up with me. And I would, if we was racing, I would get him a couple times. He would get me, so we was like neck and neck when it came down to speed. But he was stronger than me. Like, he was shorter, he was stockier, he was stronger. So we called him Mighty Mouse. And he actually got that tattoo later on in life. That's funny. He got a Mighty Mouse tattoo. Because of, his nickname. But anywho, I was the fastest kid on the block pretty much. And I love to run, so I went to join the track team. Went out for the practice. Practice kicked my butt. I wasn't ready for. I wasn't prepared. I didn't have the stamina. I wasn't practicing on my own. Like, this was my not my first time trying out for a team because I tried for a basketball team, but like I said, I was short. I was, dare I say, small as a kid. But track wasn't for me. I immediately gave up, and I didn't want to tell my mom. So when that next track practice came around, I decided to skip it and go to the studio with my brother and my cousin instead. So Ace and Darius took me to Northland, and we rapped off Obi Trice beat. First studio session ever, 2003-ish, 2, 3, 4-ish. Shout out to De Niro, aka G Camp. Right there in the middle of Northland Mall. Go in the booth, you close the door, soundproof, do your thing, come out. But actually, this is my first studio session ever, so always a hip to how none of the operations went. I didn't know anything about. All I knew was I could make music in my head, and I was a good writer. And so we wrote to this Obi Trice beat. Like do 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 boom boom do do do. I think it's called The Setup or something. I can't remember the song per se. I think it's called The Setup. But we took that instrumental. I don't even know where we got it from. Probably Napster or something at the time. Took it to G Camp. Laced the track. When I was in there recording, Ace and Darius went in the booth with me. It was a nice size booth. It wasn't just like a one man type of thing. You could fit a couple people in there. It had the glass. People could see. If people was walking in the mall, they could see you recording and stuff. So that was pretty cool. But I skipped track practice to go do that, and ended up getting in trouble because I didn't tell my mom. She thought I was still at track practice out, and we ended up hanging out that night. But first studio experience ever, and from that moment on, like I knew I wanted to be a rapper. Cause the way Ace and Cousin D was hyping me up while I was in the booth. Like I knew I had bars, even though it was my first studio session ever. I knew I had bars. I don't know what happened to the MP3 though. Like I feel like I should have it in the tuck somewhere. Did we even finish the song? I don't know what happened. But from that point on, I knew I wanted to be a rapper. So with G Camp putting on the way he did, having the setup in the middle of the mall, going there with my bro, my cousin, it really made me want to pursue that career. And made me want to pursue that lifestyle, man. I probably would. Maybe once or twice more. Probably went maybe once or twice more. In high school after that. But when I got to college, this was 05, 06 maybe. When I got to college, I met my homeboy Lester. And Lester ended up showing me how to make beats on, what is that program called? Audio, I'm forgetting the name of the program. It's right there. Lester taught me how to make beats on a computer. And my first beat was terrible. It was terrible, terrible, terrible. But I remember letting them listen to it. They like, bro, what is this? We all laughed about it. But then I got addicted to making beats. I got addicted to it, like learning how to chop, learning how to put the melodies together. And this is all like keyboard and mouse. I'm using no like MPCs, no drum machines, no synthesizers, no keyboards, nothing. I was putting beats together straight from the sounds in my head, the timing. I learned how to do timing on what is that program's name? I probably would have. It's on my laptop right now. It's there. 20 years later. Learned how to make beats in college. And then me and Les, we started grabbing instrumentals off of Napster and LimeWire. And on breaks when we would come home, or if we would just come home, because we was in Ohio. I went to Bowling Green State University. So we was, a couple hours away. And we would come home, we would go to Northland and we would record. We would take the instrumentals, we would write to them. We would go home, hit the mall, holla at G Camp, record in the booth, come back to college, bang it like. Okay, my auntie Monica had some huge speakers when she lived over here in West Chicago. In Evergreen, she had some huge speakers, and before she moved out that house, she was like, "You want these speakers?" I'm like, "Heck yeah!" Grabbed them boys, took them back to college. Had the loudest speakers in the entire dorm. And oh no, was that? That might have been sophomore year or junior year. It was cold, Conklin. And junior year, we moved off campus. Was that junior year? That was junior year. What was that? I don't know. She had some huge speakers. She let me grab them. And when me and Les would come back to school, we'd be banging the songs we made in them big ass speakers. And you know what I'm saying? Our homies was like, "Oh, this y'all?" You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think we made 3 mixtapes. I got my cousin involved. Shout out to Tizzle Tizzle. Lester got his cousins involved. Shout out to Dre, Chop, and Tug. Lester, Dre, Chop, and Tug made a group called Fam First. And then me and Les' group was D-Boys. I got my cousins, like I said, Tizzle in on it. I got Ace in on it. We consider him a D-Boy. And so, me and Les was doing our thing in college. We was, I won't 100% say that we was known for making music, but the niggas that knew us knew that we could rap. That we would freestyle, you know what I'm saying? We get turned up, freestyle, play our music. And we was rappers in college, man. Me and Les both had plenty money. Don't ask me where we was getting it from. So we was some of the flyest niggas you had ever seen. I feel like we was going shopping every weekend then. Tripping. We was tripping with the cake back then, like just blowing that shit like a fucking wind gust. But yeah, we was rappers in college, yo. Niggas couldn't tell us no different. And it got to the point where like we was doing our thing. We was, fucking around with chicks and, you know what I'm saying, making a little name for ourselves or whatever. Niggas started getting jealous. Like, yeah, got into a few altercations. We had got some BB guns. We got some BB guns. Oh my God, they look real too. We was tripping in college. But high school when it started and it didn't stop. It didn't stop. I never stopped making beats. I never stopped writing music. I never stopped hitting the studio. But the one thing that also didn't change was my inconsistency. Because if you claim to be a rapper, you got to be that all the time. All the time. There is no downtime. If you claim to be a comedian, they want you to be funny all the time. Claim to be an actor, they want to see you on screen, or they want to see you acting out a scene, or on a stage in a play. There is no doubt. Once you claim a title for yourself that is considered a position in the entertainment industry, people look at you like you have to be that person, play that role, be in that position 24/7. Like they want you to be that all the time. And if you can't, or if you choose not to, then you run into problems. Um, with people believing who you are, with people looking at you in a certain perspective. And like I said, me and Les, we claimed we was rappers, so we was on point at all times. We always had some money on us. You know what I'm saying? Always had some jewelry on us. Always had the flyest clothes. Always had some chicks around. We was always turned. We was always the life of the party. But none of that was because we was making music. All of that was because we was just two dudes that pretty much thought the same, had the same type of fashion sense, had the same type of sense of humor, and that was us. We was the D-Boys. And when I came out of college, I continued to go to Gennaro when I made music. You know, Ace would come with me sometimes. Sometimes I go by myself. And like I said, we kept going. And eventually, since my big brother Ace was the one who initially brought me to Gennaro, he discovered somebody else through his acquaintances, and eventually he introduced me to Royal, and Royal became my new Gennaro. I would go to Gennaro in Northland, record my music, you know what I'm saying, disappear until it was time to come back. Or not disappeared, but just, be doing other stuff till the time to come back. But then when I met Royal became my new Gennaro, so I would go to him to make music. We would record at his mom's crib, whatever. And after a while, because like I said, I've been writing rhymes. I've been writing rhymes since, I want to say, 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade. Or was it 9th grade? I think it was 9th grade I wrote my first rhyme. But I was like into it, 7th, 8th grade. Like I was, you know what I'm saying? It was in my mind like, okay, I could do something like this. You know what I'm saying? I rap along with the songs I hear on the radio, make my own words to it. I think 9th grade I wrote my first rap. I met Gennaro in high school. Kicked it with him all the way through college. Met Royal after college. And then at this point, like my skill level was, because I had never stopped. Now that I know how to make beats from going, from messing around with Les. And I was at a different level now. So I was making my own beats, writing my own rhymes when I met Royal. And just working with Royal started bringing people in. I met Benji, aka Snake, through Royal. Snake and Royal was best friends in high school. Stuck together pretty much the whole time. After that, they had already formed Mitten Boy in high school, or it was the Kano Boys back then, but they had already formed Mitten Boy when they met me, or when I met them. And they pretty much just brought me on, like, oh shit, dude make his own beats and he rap? Yeah, you coming with us, gang. So after college, I became a Mitten Boy. And October 31st, 2012, we dropped the Gods. And at this point, I didn't graduate college. My junior year was my last year. That was 2007. So from 2007 to like 2010, or maybe to like 2011, I was, coming out of that D-boy stage and transitioning into my Mitten Boy stage. And that's funny. D-boys, Mitten Boys, Detroit, Michigan. Like, I never even thought about that shit till just now. Like, I've been repping the whole time repping my hometown with my group names this whole time, and I never even really noticed. But yep, Mitten Boys. October 31st, 2020. I'm sorry, October 31st, 2012. We dropped the Gods, and at this point, it wasn't just me, Ace, Royal, and Snake. We had Cigarello G. We had Tom Skis. We had June Taylor. We had Motor City Iceberg. Do I dare count D Money? Because D Money he was around, but he wasn't around. It was a handful of us. And the summer of 2012, we came together. Ray was like, look, I got an idea for an album. It's gonna have some like biblical references. But like I feel like y'all niggas guys out here, like the Gods was actually an acronym, GODS, good old Detroit sound. And Ray made that statement by saying, like, yo, the sound that my guys is putting out is what Detroit music should sound like. So he called us the Gods, and we dropped that boy Halloween 2012. And we had put a lot of work in. We had several studio sessions, and we wasn't even in the studio. We was in Royal Mama house in the living room, cooking. Like Flaming Laces had came through and blessed us with a beat. I made a couple beats on the album. Benji made a couple beats on the album. Roy made a couple beats. I think Cigarello made a beat. Dropped that boy. It was a solid project. But listening to it now, it kind of aged poorly because of the sound. Like the phonics are not 2029. It sound like it's old. But Man Boy 2012, and then morning, I'm recording. Then I met, let's see, 2012. Yeah, we was riding to that. And we was going to different studios. I think we finished the album. In the Greenfield Plaza. Because at this point, Royal was a full-time engineer. He was mixing and mastering and producing for other people, for other groups, for other record labels. And at this point, we weren't even a record label fully yet. Like, we was claiming Mitten Boy, but it wasn't on paperwork till about maybe like a year after the album dropped, when I had finally signed. But we was at Greenfield Plaza when we dropped the album. We was messing around with Gladiator. Shout out to Team Gladiator. We was messing with I forget my man's name. Dude got the magazine and everything. He out in ATL shooting now. Good shooter. We had met a lot of people at Greenfield Plaza. But we was basically messing with Gladiator. Gladiator, I think he owned the studio down there in the basement of Greenfield Plaza. And eventually we moved from that studio to a studio over on Southfield and 12 Mile. And that's when I met Wavy Davy. Now at this time I didn't know who Wavy Davy was or what he did, but I seen him a couple times around. He's working the boards. I hadn't worked with him at that point, but that's when I finally met him. And yeah, we was there for a couple months, not too long. But this was around 20, maybe 13, maybe like 15, 14, 13. I'm not sure. But now, but not now. After we disconnected with the studio on Southfield and 12 Mile, we ended up back at Royal Mama House when we wanted to record. And eventually, Peasy came around. Shout out to T Peasy. And Cape. We met Cape at Greenfield Plaza too. I didn't know who Cape was then either though. But down the line, I met Savage and Culture randomly at some show at the Emerald Theater. And at this point I was Supernova Juno, like full blown, like chains and all type of crazy jewelry and cars and all that. Not the cars per se, but I had a nice car back then. 2012 Fusion, it was still 2011, I had the 2012, I thought I was doing something. But met Savage and Culture, linked up with them, brought them on board. Long story short, Wavy ended up giving me the sound that I wanted. Not to say that Royal didn't do what he was supposed to do, or Gennaro didn't do what he was supposed to do, but like the way Wavy put like the auto-tune and the mixing, like it just sound like I wanted it to sound finally. And to this day I still mess with Wavy. And Wavy Davy has a setup that includes a MacBook, an interface, I forgot what it's called, and a mic that I want from Austin, the Austin Element. No, I got the Element. He has an Austin microphone that I want, but Wavy setup is I finally found the sound I want. And his setup probably run for about 4 or 5 bands. And ever since I started recording with Wavy, I've been chasing that sound. And I don't see me sounding no other way. So that's what I want more than anything is that sound that he has, that he offers us. Because now, I record with him, Snake records with him, Culture records with him. Like pretty much everybody I'm around record with Wavy. Because his sound just when he mixes and drops the tracks, it just sound better than anything that I've experienced thus far. And so Wavy Davy setup is the thing I want more than anything, because I'm not gonna sit here and say I live and breathe music because I don't. But if I could, I would. If I didn't have the responsibilities I have now, I would be living and breathing music. Wake up, make music, go to sleep making music. But over the years, I've invested in myself to the point where I got the mic, I got the laptop, I got the, what I'm saying, I got everything I need to make music, but I'm still missing that sound. And so it's hard for me to release music, knowing that it could sound better. Like I can do it on my own, but it won't sound like it would if I was to go to Wavy, set up a session, you know what I'm saying, and have him do the secondary part of music, because I get the beats and write and rap, but then you gotta manipulate the voices and the melodies and all that to a point where it sound good, and I can't make myself sound like Wavy can make me sound, and so I refuse to put out music that I've made on my own if Wavy is not involved, which is why I got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of beats on deck. Only a couple songs out. The couple songs I do have out, Wavy probably had his hands on. So I can make beats all day, but when it kind of dropping music, I refuse. Because I know it could sound better. And competition is crazy nowadays. Competition is crazy. It's so many people making music. Like if it don't sound good, you're gonna get lost in the sauce immediately. You put a song out there that don't sound good, most people gonna turn it right off. If it don't sound the best that it could possibly sound, it's gonna turn it right off. And so that's my dilemma. That's why that's why I want more than anything in this world is the setup and the sound that Wavy gives us. If I could get those the the MacBook, the mic, the interface, speakers, whatever. If I could have what he has here at home, or in my own designated studio, or my own designated space, I'd be 1,000 times happier because I could just wake up, make the music, make it the way I want it to sound, release it, and just be happy with the day. Like I don't doubt myself. I 0% doubt myself when it comes to picking beats, writing songs, recording. But when it comes to manipulating my voice and the music to make it sound like how I want to sound, or it sound like Wavy David would make it sound, if I could figure that part out, I'll be 1,000% happier with life. Like I said, the setup costs about 5-6 bands, and not to say I haven't had 5-6 bands to drop on it several occasions over the last couple years, but I've been putting other things over it. I feel like I was being more responsible by, buying other stuff than dropping 5-6 bands on studio equipment. And with this knowledge beating down on me, it's like I'm losing the will to write music, make beats. I'm losing the will to do anything for real. Because all I really want to do in life is make music. But I feel like it's so many hurdles to make it sound the way I want to sound that it's starting to become like, dare I say, not worth it. So, one thing I want more than anything, my entire life is the sound. I want my music to sound good. And I need the right equipment to make that happen. Or I need the right knowledge to make it happen. Because I probably could make it sound the way I wanted to sound if I knew how to manipulate the voices and the sounds on the computer the way, Wavy does with the plugins and all that. But I just feel like, man, my computer's so old. My laptop that I use every day is older than my son. My son about to be 10 this year. I got that laptop on Black Friday the year before he was born, 2013. I've been using it ever since. It's old. I gotta buy a new battery for it now that I think about it. Battery don't even charge. Gotta keep it plugged into the wall if I want to operate it. So yeah, if I had Wavy Dev set up, man, I'd be dropping music like turds for real. So that's on the top of my list. Wavy Dev set up. And so what I'm gonna do is I wrote down, what I want. And I'm gonna write down why. I'm say I want my music to sound good. And I need 100% access. Without permission. Because there's nothing to drop some guap on, set up a studio session with Wavy, $50 an hour. That's nothing. But that just be for one song. And I've done that probably 50 times. I could have had it set up by now. If I would have saved all the money that I spent when I'm trying to make these songs in these studio sessions, I could have bypassed that, saved the money up, and bought the, you know what I'm saying? But it's what it is. So why do I want it? I want my music to sound good. I need 100% access without permission. And it's convenient. I don't even know how I spelled that right. Now, why? I know why. Let's say what? What does he have? What's in the setup? He got the MacBook. Got the interface. He got the mic. And he got speakers too. Speakers aren't as important. I'll put it on there anyway. MacBook interface, mic, and speakers. Now the MacBook, it could vary, but I would prefer to go with the latest version because not only could I do music in a better fashion, in a more convenient, timely fashion, and it'll sound better sonically, but the speed of the MacBook will also help me with like Photoshop, making my graphics and things of that nature, because it's all a part of being this one-man show that I've created for myself. Like, make my own beats, write my own rhymes. I can record myself. Mixing and mastering is something that I haven't dabbled in too much, but I'm sure if I had all the things that I needed and wanted in front of me, it'd probably make it easier to learn. But right now, it just I go in there and I write and I make beats and I record, and then I don't know what to do after. I don't know how to mix. I don't know how to master. I really don't even know what mastering means. But if I had the MacBook, it would give me the speed and the power I needed to do those tasks more efficiently. And as far as the interface I have right now is um, inbox from Avid, old one. Got that one from real. I mean, it worked, but barely. I can only use it on my laptop. Can't use it on my computer. My computer actually crashed on me like a month ago. So now I really need another computer because if I lose my laptop, yo, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But MacBook interface, get that good mic and some nice speakers. I feel like I'll be on the road. And you know, I feel like it'll make me happier because I'll be able to make music the way I want to. Right now, all I want to do is make music, but I feel like I can't the way I want to. And so I've just been sad. Sad as fuck. Been sad as fuck for like a year. So why, what, how? Now, this is the tricky part. How do I get these things? Like I said, about 5 or 6 bands. Now keep in mind, I am a single father. I got a house to take care of. I got responsibilities. How am I gonna be able to save up 5 to 6 bands to just spend it all at one time on one thing, which is a studio setup? And like I said, I've had 5, 6 bands several times over in the last couple years, but it was never for that. It was always because I had to do this, I had to get a car, I had to, payment on my house, the bills. Not only do I have a son, I got, his mom I'm taking care of too. I mean, we take care of each other, but for the most part, I'm taking care of her. She take care of herself and I take care of her. You know what I'm saying? So, how do I save up 5, 6 bands? That's the real question. With all the responsibilities I have, how do I become, or how do I maintain being a responsible adult while also investing in my dreams that could have little or no return? Like if I spend 5 or 6 bands, I'm going to immediately have a positive return because I'm going to spend it on something that I need immediately, or that needs to be handled, a problem that needs to be addressed. But with this is a want and desire. This is not a need. I'm starting to feel like it's becoming a need because I can't function correctly knowing that I have all these talents and skills. The resources are readily available to me, but it just costs money. And the money that I would be spending it on ends up going to my needs versus my wants and desires. Like every time I get some guap, it's gonna be on food. I gotta feed myself, I gotta feed my kid, I gotta feed his mom. I gotta, do something for the house. I got bills. Like, yes, I am a business owner, but this last 12 months, like I just feel like I've been so sad and not as creative. Like I can't. It just feel like I'm having analysis paralysis with everything. Like I know I can get this set up. 5 or 6 bands is not that much. It's a good amount, but it's not that much. I know I can get the setup, but if I spend my money on that setup, a whole bunch of other stuff is gonna go suffer. A whole lot. And probably to the point where I can't even use the setup correctly. I'll fucking lose my house fucking around, drop 5, 6 bills, or 5, 6 racks on some studio equipment. And I could piece it together piece by piece, but getting the MacBook itself is gonna cost at least 2 bands. The interface is another band. The mic is another 500. The speakers another 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are big chunks that will go to wants and desires versus needs. And my needs never stop. It's a never going cycle with my needs. But my wants and desires, they change over the course of time. So I feel like if I splash down on this setup, will I be able to use it right? Will I be using it? Like I invest in myself hundreds and hundreds of times. I bought so much equipment, and I just feel like I don't even be using it sometimes. Because there's always something else. It's never enough. And so the question how has to be answered with, because what I'm doing right now and what I've been doing hasn't worked. So the question of how will I obtain these items will only be found in a method that I haven't tried yet, that I haven't practiced yet. And over the course of the last 12 months, I've really been trying to develop my skills as, develop my skills in networking and content creation, because when you network and create content around the things you want, desire, and need, and release it to the public, publish it through social media and things of that nature on the internet, I just feel like the people who will help you will find you. And I'm also discouraged because I know I could be doing a whole lot better and a whole lot more, but I still haven't found my tribe that's going to help me get to where I want to be. And I still haven't found the courage inside me to be more outgoing and more aggressive in pursuing these resources, pursuing the obtainment of these resources. And so I gotta, like I said, I gotta do something different. It's got to be a method that I haven't tried before. And I was thinking about just walking up to random people, but I have never been that much of an outgoing person. And when I used to drink liquor, I run up and talk to anybody. I'm turned like, what you gonna do? I always had good energy around. I always had good energy about myself, especially when I was drinking. Like they call liquor liquid courage, and I kind of agree with that because I was really courageous when I was drinking, but I don't drink no more. So going up to random people and trying to find my tribe that way is it's an idea, but I don't see myself pursuing it because I'm not that type of person. So how else am I gonna find it? Like, what I could be doing is releasing more music, releasing more beats, letting people know like, yo, this is what I do, this is what I got popping. Come rock, come support. Definitely been supporting. I feel like I've been supporting everybody else, but everybody else fully and not myself. Let me say it again. I feel like I've been supporting people's careers and desires and wants with my ideas more than I support myself with my own ideas. Like I put what I want to the wayside to go help somebody else. And that's really been bothering me lately because not to say I don't want to help people, but it's like, yo, I got things I need to do myself. Like I got things I want to do myself. And me taking my time out to help you is literally hindering me from helping myself. And you can't really help somebody else until you help yourself. But I've helped myself to a lot. I just feel like I haven't been putting my energy in the right directions. I've just been spreading it. I haven't been putting my energy in the right direction. And gotta change. So how I obtain these things? I need 5 racks. I'm gonna just say I need 5 to 10. I need 5 to 10K. And in order for me to get that with the way I live now, I would have to be doing a lot extra. So I've invested in a custom clothing company, Supernova Customs LLC. I make custom clothing, accessories, painting, shoes, leather goods, creating custom t-shirts and apparel. Digging down in, and I want to dig into embroidery and rhinestone designs. I would have to dig into more clothing designs because I've had success with Supernova Customs. As far as music goes, I could definitely be putting out more beats. I got a ton of beats that just nobody's ever heard before, but I just be feeling like it's so many beats and so many people doing exactly what I do. Like, how do I stand out? How do I find my supporters, my tribe? How do I get the support that I need from others so I can dump that same support into what I want to do and then dish it back out to the people who have been rocking with me. I'm having trouble really digging into my talents because I know that I could be doing a whole lot more. But I be feeling like I don't have the time to do anything. Like I wake up and it's like, okay, what the fuck? What do I do today? Like I feel like I'm losing purpose. I feel like I'm losing the will to fight. To fight for what I want. I feel like I'm losing the will to live. It's over this last 12 months, I've just been learning. I've been digging into conspiracy theories. Like, I got so many other people's thoughts in my head. It's hard for me to think for myself. And it's really hindering me on progression. Like I got so many good ideas that if I just had more guap, I could just pay people to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, but right now I'm fully independent. Haven't had a job in 2 years. Like every move I make got to be 100% structured on surviving the next couple days. Like I feel like I'm in survival mode. When I did have jobs and gigs or whatever, I would get my check and I feel like I would just blow it. Like I'd be responsible, but then after that, I just blow it. I'd be drinking. I'd be, whatever, partying, blah blah blah. But I don't do that no more. Like now that I 100% make money on my own from just being resourceful and being talented. It's like I don't make as much money as I did when I had jobs, when I was helping other people with their dreams. Like I've given the majority of my life to other people in their dreams. Just by having a job, that's basically all you're doing is supporting somebody's dream. I was working at Jets Pizza. Somebody started Jets. Somebody like, hey, I like pizza. You know what I'm saying? But if they had these ingredients, they would be better. Yeah. We hope. You get your signature pizza, you get your signature taste. People love it. They start buying it from you. Next thing you know, you got chains all around the country. And look at me coming in, driving, managing, making pizza. I was doing every job at Jets for years. I worked at Jets for like 10 plus years. I think it was 12. It was off and on. Like I would leave and then I'd come back like over the span of a couple months, whatever. If I had another job, but 10 plus years working at Jets. The whole time I was still Supernova Juno. I was still, I had my company, still making beats, still performing live on stage, still writing, still hitting the stool. This whole time I could have been like putting that into myself. And who knows where I would be now if I would have stayed down like I stay down right now. Like I'm 10 toes down on my own. And that may sound like an accomplishment, but lately it's been feeling like a burden. Lately I've been feeling like no matter what I do, I'm not going to accomplish what I originally sought out to accomplish. And to be 100% honest, I thought myself to be, by at this point, performing in front of thousands of people, with the beats I made and the songs I wrote and the bars I spit on the mic. But, if you want God to laugh, make a plan. So now I just feel like, if I had to set up, my life would be so much smoother. I wouldn't have to pay Wavy to hit the stool. I wouldn't have to set up no stool sessions. I wouldn't have to, I wouldn't be doubting myself on what my music sounds like if I make it myself. Like all of that would be in-house and I'd be kicking it. Like I'd really be turned up. I feel like I'd really be turned up if I could wake up, turn my MacBook on, turn the interface on, turn the mic on, turn the speakers on, do my thing, turn it all off, release the product. It'll sound good, and I could be on to the next thing. It don't take me long to make music at all. Like if I wanna write some bars that really mean something, I sit there and I write, and that might take me a day, a couple minutes, a week, whatever the case may be. But making music comes natural to me. Like I could just sit here, close my eyes, make a beat, and write a song, all live on camera. And it'll be a good idea. It'll be dope. But what would it sound like? Like I can hear what it sounds like in my head. It sounds amazing in my head. But what would it sound like if I released that energy into the universe? And 9 times out of 10, it don't match. I feel like the only song that matched To this day, the only song that matched what I heard in my head and what I got in real life was when I rapped to the Big Meech. I think I'm Big Meech by Rick Ross. Larry Hoover, whipping work, hallelujah. When I wrote to that beat and I recorded it in Royal's mama's living room, it was the only song I recorded to this day that sound 99.9% the same as it sounded in my head. The only one. All the other songs I make, it either sound better when I release it or worse when I release it. You know, from my head to the, you know. And 9 times out of 10, when I go mess around with Wavy, and you know his studio setup, it sounds better than what it sounds like in my head because I can hear it, but then when I hear it out loud, it's like, all right, I'm gonna do this different, I'm gonna do that different. And Wavy know this. I make a song, it should be dope. I take it home, I listen to it 1,000 times, and then it's like, all right, I want to make this change, I want to make that change. You can't keep doing that. I can't keep doing that because that gets very expensive. It gets very, very expensive. One song could take me fucking 4, 5, 6 studio sessions. It's $50 an hour. You do the math. Just for one song. Before the mix, before the master. And at this point, I've written thousands of songs. Thousands, literally thousands. Since my 7th, 8th, 9th grade year, I filled thousands of sheets of paper with ink. And the general public has probably only heard 0.01% of that. Because cool on paper, great up here in my head, but it takes time and resources to get it from in here to out into the world. And right now I just simply don't have them. And I feel like I would be 100% a better artist if I had that set up here at my home or somewhere I could somewhere I could easily access it. Because going through Wavy Davy is not easy access. Even though I could call them or I could text them, be like, yeah, pull up, whatever. Still gotta give $50 an hour. And if I give him $50 for one and desire, it's taken away from the $50 I could be putting towards a need. Because I got things I need at the same time. Like I said, it's a perpetual recurring cycle. I'll never stop needing things. My kid will never stop needing things. His mom would never stop needing things. And I'm the man of the house, so I gotta provide them all. Really 5K. If I had 5K, I think I'd be on something. So what can I do that's worth $5,000? Sell more clothes, make more clothes, sell more beats, more ghostwriting. Like it's only so many things I want to do. Like I got lawn equipment, I could start up a lawn company, but I don't want to do that. That's time. That's time taken away from the things I really want to do. And if it's anything I learned in life, is time is extremely limited. Extremely limited. Yesterday I had a conversation with my son's mother, and I told her, like, look, man, I can't even watch TV no more. I picked up a camera a couple years ago and ended up on some movie sets, some music video sets. I've been on stage at a play, met some actors. Like I see what's going on when the camera's on. Everything we consume on our phone and on TV, there was a camera present. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that when a camera is present, not only are people aware, but they know that it's a set of eyes here. I got a set of eyes, they got a set of eyes, and the camera also has a set of eyes. But the set of eyes that the camera has is not for the camera. It's for everybody else who wants to watch it. And so when people see a camera, they automatically know that not only are they going to see what's going to happen, not only is the person with the camera going to see what's going to happen, but there are people who they don't know, never met, probably never will meet, who will gain some insight, who will gain some perspective, who will have something to say about whatever the next thing is going to happen when the camera's on. So I've witnessed one-on-ones normally, conversations with people normally, activities with people normally, no cameras present. And I've also witnessed those same activities, those same events with a camera, and I observed the difference. And the difference is when people see cameras, they start acting. Point blank, period. And I've never considered myself to be an actor. Like really, I don't even like take pictures or video. I don't. Since I consider myself to be genuine and honest and real, knowing that when people act fake when the camera come out, completely strays me away from doing anything that got anything to do with cameras. Like my mindset is, if it's a camera around, I don't want to be involved because I know somebody gonna be faking the front. Somebody. I have not seen one person be genuine with a camera around yet. Not one. Well, that's cap. That's cap. That's cap. There are some people who act exactly the same when this camera's around. For one, my homie Snake Tooth Benji. Don't matter. He the same. Cameras on, cameras off. He the same. That's a reason why, you know, I prefer his company over a lot of people because he the same. Whether you like him or not, whether you love him or not, that man don't change for nobody. 100% genuine. Also, my homie Cape. Cape is the exact same, camera on, camera off. Like he'll do a little bit extra when the camera's on, but he does that because his purpose is to get your attention to, because he's trying to make some money off the camera. Benji, I haven't seen Benji even attempt to make money off camera yet. Benji is just Benji. It's just how he gonna be. Benji wanna rap, so he gonna rap. Benji wanna work out, he gonna work out. You know what I'm saying? When Cape come around the camera, he probably saying something inspirational, or he trying to sell you something. That's just who he is. Even myself, like I don't like cameras because I don't even want to think about being fake. Like I'd rather not even deal with it in the first place. Like even my camera sitting right here in front of me, and I dreaded turning it on to sit here I dread like thinking about sitting here writing down my wants and desires, speaking it out loud and on camera. I dreaded the thought of even doing it. I don't like messing with cameras because I feel they bring the worst out of people, even myself. And so, yep. Mm-mm. He upstairs. Okay. Shout out to my little bro. Um, I don't know, man. I gotta find a way out. I gotta do a whole lot extra because what I'm doing right now, I'm working. It's bringing me down. Like I think about the past. I think about how happy I used to be. But then I also think ignorance is bliss because I didn't know a ton of information that I know now. Like I'm grown. I'm a grown ass man. I got hella responsibilities, and I feel like it's my biggest responsibility to make the world a better place when I leave for my son. And the only way I could do that is by getting us out the rat race. Waking up, going to a job, coming home from that job, watching TV till you go to sleep, and doing it again is it's fucking insanity. And that's what 99% of Americans do every day. They go to a job they despise. They come home, they watch TV until they go to sleep, wake up and do it again. Like, I feel like the majority of people, I don't want to say 99%, but I feel like the majority of people do that every single day. The majority of grown-ups. And I can't live like that. I can't even watch TV no more because I know it was a camera present, and I know people do fuck shit in front of cameras all the time. They're not themselves when cameras are around. I don't want to be like that. I want to be genuine all the time. I don't even want to think about having to act like or be like something I'm not just because of camera on, just because I want people to think of me a certain way. That's pressure. It's pressure because not only do I have responsibilities to make the world a better place after I'm gone for my son, but the decisions I make on camera will last forever, especially if they go on the internet, and my son will be affected by it if they are not progressive. And sometimes the things I do are not progressive. I smoke weed. Why? I don't know. I like the way it makes me feel. I used to drink. Why? It was fun. I liked the way it made me feel. I really didn't like the way it made me feel. I liked the way I thought after I was drunk. It wasn't my feelings per se, because I ain't had too many feelings when I was drunk. When I used to drink, I used to get hype and horny. I'm 36, bro. I can't be hype and horny all the time. I don't drink no more. When I smoke, it make me feel like either relaxed or thoughtful. Either I'm relaxing, not thinking about nothing, or I'm up thinking about everything. And I believe smoking weed has made me overthink a whole lot of things. Like being creative, smoking weed and being creative has held me this past, let's say, 18 months. I didn't smoke for the first time until my 30th birthday. It was the first time I ever smoked weed. And that time I smoked it, oh man, it was like a movie, yo. It was like my life was a movie, and I was just the main character living it, and everybody knew. Like everybody knew I was the main character. Whether they liked me or not, it didn't matter. They knew that my story was being lived, and it was a great one. That's how I felt my first time smoking, and I feel like I've been chasing that feeling ever since. Not to say like I want to be famous or I want to be popular. It just felt like no matter what else was going on, the things that I had going on, was the most important, and everybody around me knew. That's what it felt like my first time smoking, and I feel like I've been chasing that feeling. It just felt good, like I felt like I was important. But now it's just like not to think about. What's up? I can end it here. I don't say what I need to say. I just need some money. I'm trying to brainstorm on what I need. It's okay. But come to the conclusion that I gotta do a lot more than what I've been doing, you know? Like try harder versus like doubting what happened because of what I did in the past. Like the past is gone, never coming back. So get over it and try harder type shit. You know? I need to start writing more. Damn, I hope it ain't affect the video.